Yo, today's video is going to be about kettlebells, specifically the top 5 exercises you need to know that will unlock doors to tons of other workouts. So here's why I like kettlebells. Kettlebells are good for so many different things, but these are 3 of my favorite things. Number 1 is it's a skill. I like learning a new skill. You get better with kettlebells not by lifting heavier weights, but by performing the movements better. Once you perform the movements better, then the weights come. The second and third reason are kind of the same thing. It's about how versatile kettlebells are. They can do basically every exercise that dumbbells can and then tons more. And also, you can do so many exercises with one single kettlebell that you can take your kettlebell to the park, you can take it on vacation. All you need is one kettlebell to get a tremendous full body workout. And my last thought about why I like kettlebells so much is that they're super unique. They're exercises you can only do with kettlebells. And I'm going to show you some of those today. All right, so we're going to start with exercise number 1, the kettlebell swing. This is essentially your prerequisite exercise to produce any following movement you might do with kettlebells, especially the 4 other ones I'm going to show you today. All right, let's hop into it. The kettlebell swing has 2 different phases or 4 different phases depending on how you look at it. I'm going to show you first and then explain them after. So here's what 4 phases look like. You have your hike, your swing, your backswing, set down. Hike, swing, backswing, set down. Where you might see there only being 2 phases is if you are just continually doing swings. Backswing, forward swing, backswing, forward swing. All right, so the details on how to do this correctly. I'm going to have about a shoulder width stance, maybe a foot or 2 behind the kettlebell. I'm going to hip hinge, pushing my butt back, maintaining that spine neutral with the pelvis tilted forward. I'm going to tip the weight towards me, and then like I'm hiking a football, I'm going to pull that weight all the way back to my groin. Then I'm going to send hips forward, hips backward, and set it down. The 2 most important things to focus on from an injury prevention perspective are the placement of your wrists when you're holding the bell. The closer the bell is to your hips, the better. The closer it is to the ground, the more stress it'll place on your back. So a swing down here is putting a whole lot more stress on my spine than a swing with the bell kept up tight. And the second most important thing applies to all hinges. It is that spine neutral position where my hips are driving backwards and I'm not flexing that spine at any point in this movement. That is essentially your kettlebell swing. So I'm going to add an exercise. We'll call this exercise 1.5. It is the single arm kettlebell swing. The movement pattern is essentially the same, but the muscles it activates might be a little bit different because of that asymmetric or single arm load. Your trunk stabilizing muscles are going to start to kick in like those obliques and those QLs. So what I like to do with this outside arm, the arm that's not really involved with the actual swing, is it moves with me to help me absorb and maintain a spine neutral position throughout it. Here's what that looks like. So the start and the setup are the same. The actual swing mechanics are essentially the same, but that arm is kicking out to the side to help me maintain shoulder position as well. That is your swing. You get this down, the next moves get a whole lot easier. This is wow. Exercise number 2 is the Kettlebell Gunslinger. The prerequisite to this movement is a single arm kettlebell swing. Reminder for that single arm kettlebell swing, you've got the hike, hip extend, hip hinge, hip extend, hip hinge, hip extend. The Kettlebell Gunslinger is a little different where it's going to come right up in front of your body and stay tight the entire time. I like to rotate my thumb pointed backwards, rotate thumb up. Thumb backwards, thumb up. Thumb backwards, thumb up. From the side, again, that is thumb back, thumb up. Hip hinge, hip extend. It's a fairly straightforward exercise, but it's good for a multitude of reasons. One of the most important ones, biceps. Oh, yeah! It's a great kettlebell swing type bicep exercise. But it becomes the prerequisite for the next exercise. Exercise number 3 is the single arm kettlebell clean. The prerequisite to this is that gunslinger, and the prerequisite to that is your single arm kettlebell swing. Here's what it looks like. So here are the details. The kettlebell swing is very similar to that gunslinger, and let me show you how. So if I perform my gunslinger and I stop here, all I gotta do is place it in that clean position. We swing it back, gunslinger, place it in position. To effectively learn the kettlebell clean, I actually suggest you go through it with this progression. You start with that gunslinger, thumb backward, thumb forward, thumb backward, thumb forward. Once you've gotten that down, you start practicing placing in that front rack position. Kick it out, back down, gunslinger, and place. Thumb backward, thumb upward, and place. Once you got the clean down where you're placing it in position, you want to practice the actual movement. Here's what it looks like. You start your swing, your thumb is pointing backwards. You rotate thumb upward and you yank your elbow backwards. Just as your thumb gets next to your chest, you punch right across your body. That little punch across is what's going to stop the kettlebell from smacking you in the wrist. So here's what it looks like when you do it wrong. boom, bruise. Boom, bruise. When you're doing it right, it's so smooth. That bell is not smacking anything. You could do this all day, never get a bruise no matter what weight you're using. All right, so exercise number 4 takes you in a little bit of a different direction than the kettlebell swing. It's a new exercise in its own right, but it also becomes a prerequisite exercise for number 5, the holy grail of kettlebell exercises. Exercise number 4 is the kettlebell high pull. So the prerequisite to this exercise is that single arm kettlebell swing. Just a quick recap, it is hike, thumb backward, palm down, thumb backward, palm down. Once you get that down, you got the high pull. The high pull is keeping the kettlebell very close to your body right off the get-go. So unlike that swing, you're immediately pulling it upward, hips forward, belt up. Hips forward, belt up. Thumb back, palms down. Thumb back, palms down. When you do this exercise quite a bit and get good at it, muscles are gonna feel working again. Still that bicep, but all those upper back muscles are working very hard. All right, so I want you to see this exercise from the side because I want you to see how close the bell has to be to your body for this exercise to be formed correctly, especially to benefit you for the holy grail kettlebell exercise. I'm very close to this rig. Kettlebell's not gonna touch that. Hike, high pull, backswing, high pull, backswing, high pull. All right, exercise number 5 is the kettlebell holy grail exercise. Everybody loves to be good at this. It feels very good to do it. This is your kettlebell snatch. The prerequisite to the kettlebell snatch is that kettlebell high pull that we just did. Here's what the kettlebell snatch should look like. Me, out of breath from demoing, I don't know what you're talking about. So let me break it up. The kettlebell high pull is the prerequisite to this movement. You got that hike, high pull. All I'm doing to turn this into a snatch is when I get there, I'm punching upward. All I'm doing is pulling backward. As I pull back, I punch up. Similar to the clean, where you pull back and punch across. This one, you pull up and punch up. That was bad. Truthfully, in my opinion, performing the kettlebell snatch is actually a little bit easier from a skill-based perspective than the kettlebell clean. So there's all 5.5 exercises. When you get these 5 exercises down, so many doors open for effective, efficient, and fun workouts. Here's just a few things that I do in my own personal workouts, but feel free to explore social media and find tons of other great exercises out there. Or let me or us know if you want more content about kettlebells, and we can for sure make more videos where we explain them in great detail and how we would use them, where we'd put them, and everything you need to know about other exercises with kettlebells. Man, I'm actually sweating from that. Wow. So there you have it, the 5 prerequisite exercises to open so many doors to so many workouts. If you're new to kettlebells, master these 5. Don't worry about weight, worry about the form. Become a master of the movement. Stay tuned for future videos about kettlebells, or comment below and let us know if there's other stuff you want to know about them. If you've got a friend or family member who wants to learn how to exercise and they're not sure how to get going, send them this video. This could be the information they need to know to get going in the right direction. Thanks.